decided what you're gonna wear.
Who do you think you're messing with? How can you do this to me?
Do what?
Do what? I'm your wife. And you did not tell me that your preliminary hearing was moved to today, like I'm not supposed to care?
It's not a big deal.
Zach, kidnapping, assault, and various other charges are a big deal. And I don't understand how can they even charge you with assault when no one got hurt?
No, I'm that good.
This is not funny. They should charge you with saving my life and saving Spike's. They should give you a medal. If Livia hadn't called, I would have been at the hospital or the office while you... I don't know. I don't know what was going to happen, but I can't. They can't take you away from me.
Okay.
I won't let them take you away from me.
No one's taking me away.
You don't know this. How do you know? They can get you into court and you don't
They're
know.
gonna summarize all the charges against me, and then Livia's gonna make a motion to dismiss.
Okay, and what are the chances of that?
I think they're pretty good. I'll be out in a half hour.
Well, if the judge doesn't dismiss...
Then I'll go to trial eventually, but I'm not leaving you, ever.
I can't lose you. I
And
can't.
you won't. Put it out of your mind. Wow, this is nice. Look at me.
Look at you.
Perfect. Why don't you go do something else? Have lunch. Have lunch with Spike, and when you're back here, and then I'll meet you here, and I'll finish what we started.
Which is?
Tell Spike I love him. Tell him I love his mom, too. Bye.
Bye.
Mr. Slater had barricaded himself and his wife in her ICU room.
And was Mr. Slater armed?
He announced he was armed and would shoot if anyone entered.
What happened next, Chief Fry?
Well, the safety of Kendall Hart Slater and her child was at stake, so I ordered my men in.
And did Mr. Slater discharge his weapon?
Yes, one shot was fired.
Thank you, Chief Fry.
A single shot was fired. Was anyone wounded?
No.
And did you see where Mr. Slater was pointing his gun? Towards the wall, towards the ceiling, towards the door?
It was a warning shot. It didn't come through the door towards us.
So he was actually trying to avoid hitting anyone?
He called it a warning shot. He wanted us to leave him and his wife alone.
Thank you, Chief Fry.
Redirect, Your Honor. Chief Fry, the shot that was fired convinced you that if you continued to try to apprehend Mr. Slater, people would be injured? Lives perhaps lost?
Slater made his point.
He meant to kill people if he was pushed too far.
He was prepared to shoot someone if he had to.
Thank you, Chief Fry. No more witnesses, Your Honor.
Ms. Cudahy, do you have witnesses to rebut any of the testimony of the district attorney's witnesses?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. The defense would like to call Kendall Hart Slater to the stand.
You could have told me you asked my wife to testify.
I didn't. She insisted.
You could have warned me.
I didn't want the hassle. She said you'd try to stop her, and if I couldn't stop her...
You God?
I do.
At the time of the standoff, you were in a coma. Is that correct?
Yes, I was, but I could hear everything. I could hear what was said and what was happening. I just couldn't respond.
Could you please tell the court what you heard?
Objection, Your Honor. Testimony and hospital records prove Mrs. Slater was in a deep coma. Whatever she thinks or dreamed can't be admitted as testimony.
I will rephrase. Mrs. Slater, you have now become aware of the circumstances surrounding your husband's actions.
Yes, I've read the police accounts, and I've heard from my mother, my husband, and the father of my child.
And after all that you have learned, do you consider yourself the victim of a kidnapping?
No, of course not. Zach was just doing what I wanted. He was protecting me and my baby, which would not have been necessary if some idiot judge hadn't awarded Ryan custody of our child.
I am that idiot judge, Mrs. Slater.
Oh. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm sure you did what you thought was best for my child. But Zach was really the only one who knew what I wanted. He did exactly what I would have done for myself if I was able to. I told Zach that I wanted Spike more than my own life. And he took vows, and he promised that he would respect my wishes. Your Honor, do you know how rare that is? I mean, how many men do you know would do something like that? He put himself on the line. He knew that he would face prison, but he did it to save my child. He did it for me. And I'm fine. I'm fine. My child is fine. No one was hurt. And now you want to take him away from me? Of course, there are oxygen hookups in all of the ICU rooms.
Well, gunfire might trigger an explosion. Mr. Slater could have caused a tragedy. You don't consider firing a gun in such a setting reckless disregard for human life?
Objection, Your Honor. How can Mrs. Slater be expected to make such a judgment?
Sustained?
I would like to respond, Your Honor.
Go ahead, then.
Thank you. I hadn't made a living will, and if I had, none of this would have been necessary. Zach was just trying to honor my wishes. And I mean no disrespect, but if there was anyone having complete disregard for human lives, didn't the police start that? I mean, why would anyone send a SWAT team to a hospital ICU? No one was in danger until that happened.
Your Honor, Mrs. Slater is...
Let's stick to the facts, Mrs. Slater.
I am.
Only one gun was discharged by your husband.
Do you deny that in firing his gun, Mr. Slater placed you, your child, and numerous others in danger?
Zach was taking care of us. Your Honor, everyone jumped to the wrong conclusion about Zach. He was just doing exactly what I wanted him to do. Why doesn't anyone care how it turned out? I'm fine. My son is perfect. No one was hurt. And that's all thanks to Zach, not in spite of him. If everyone else had their way, they would have sacrificed my baby to save my life. And I probably would have come out of the coma to learn that my child was dead. So, Your Honor, before you decide that my husband has to be punished for his crimes, can you please take all of this into account? He saved my son's life. You're not mad?
No, I'm not mad. You did great up there.
Well, let's pray the judge thinks so.
All rise.
The question before me is whether Mr. Slater should go to trial. After reviewing the depositions and the testimony given today, I've made my decision.
Please, no trial. Please.
If I am to believe the arguments in your favor, Mr. Slater, I would be hard-pressed not to consider you somewhat of a hero. Both your wife and your attorney painted you as a man who took desperate measures in the name of love, honor, and integrity. The state, however, presented a very different case. Not a commendable one. You locked yourself away with a comatose wife. You threatened to shoot anyone who crossed your path. You fired a gun in a public health facility. That is not only destructive, it is reprehensible. You're an arrogant man, Mr. Slater. Recklessly, defiantly so. I have only one choice on how to rule.
Oh, no, please tell me he's not doing this.
As dangerous as Mr. Slater's actions were, this court has not been presented with enough evidence to justify a costly criminal trial. I see no valid reason to move ahead with this case.
Your Honor, with all due respect...
Did he just say...
It's over.
Motion to dismiss, Your Honor.
It's over?
Counsel, please approach the bench.
It's over. Oh, okay, well then what's going on? He said it's over, so then what is there to discuss?
I don't think the ADA is on board yet.
Well, who cares? The judge just said no trial, so then let's get the hell out of here and go see Spike before the guy in the robe changes his mind.
I heard the guy in the robe. He says I'm reckless and arrogant. Maybe we shouldn't push him.
We can go around this again and again, counsel. There was no real abduction, which completely invalidates your kidnapping charge. No kidnapping, no trial, no case. This case is dismissed.
All rise.
Okay, seriously, when that judge called you arrogant and... What was the other one?
Reckless.
Yes, reckless. Arrogant and reckless.
You like saying that, huh?
I do. I really do. My arrogant and reckless husband. I thought that you were a goner. I had no idea, and I'm glad that you're good.
Mm-hmm. No, I am good, but it wasn't because of anything I did. He was dying to throw the book at me. It's because of you. He liked my pretty wife and her elegant and very passionate speech.
Well, it's a good thing you have me.
Come on.
I got it.
I refuse to believe that.
You better start. Hey, that was some performance in there. What'd it cost you?
That was not a performance. That was 100% the truth. And why are you suddenly so snarky right now? I thought you agreed Zach did the right thing.
No, not your performance, Kendall. The judge's. The way he begrudgingly dismissed the case. It was money well spent.
What the hell is he talking about?
Don't tell me you didn't know. That judge was bribed. And you've been had.
Derek just accused you of bribing the judge, Zach.
Yeah, I heard him.
And?
It's a problem with law enforcement. Very suspicious.
Was this judge known for taking bribes?
It's the first I've heard of it. But any client of mine found out to be making under-the-table deals with a judge would be in search of a new attorney.
But you didn't know. So you're in the same boat as Kendall, Livy. You were both duped.
Easy, little brother, or I'm not going to buy you dinner.
Okay. So, all that stuff you said about me winning over the judge with my elegant and lovely plea, that was just a giant
I
load?
stand by everything I said. You're amazing in here. You won over the entire courtroom.
Did you bribe the guy or not? Yes or no?
I made a contribution to his re-election fund.
You did?
Told you not to worry about it. Everything was going to work out just fine.
Yeah, you did. Although it would have been awfully nice of you to say, hey, honey, I bribed the judge.
Yeah, that would have been nice. But then I would have missed your magnificent speech about what an amazing guy I am, honey. Let's go home.
Yes, please.